Welcome to Rascalebla Reviews YouTube channel. In this video, I am going to share review of Aston Martin Vantage. With 656 bhp rather than the 503 bhp of its immediate predecessor, the latest 2024 Aston Martin Vantage has moved on to a new performance plane. It was a serious sports car before, but the comprehensive overhaul for 2024 has, as with the DB12, we were so impressed by in 2023, significantly shifted the Vantage's capabilities. It costs from £165,000 on the road before options, as of May 2024 when deliveries start, and as we'll see, this old-school charmer and bruiser with a dynamic heart has little to fear from its similarly priced rivals. In appearance, the 2024 Vantage is mildly tweaked, enhanced, and more muscly than the car that preceded it, but it maintains a DNA that has been around since the V8 Vantage launch of 2005. If you see this car and that earlier model together, you'll know they're from the same family. The latest model is now at 1,981 mm wide across the body, which is a not insignificant width. The chassis, a blend of aluminum extrusions and castings, is a similar architecture to the DB12S, though this car is shorter of wheelbase than that, at 2,692 mm, and in overall length at 4,496 mm, because it's a sports car, not a grand tourer. As we write, it's Aston's most focused series model, though one might expect a more hardcore variant of the Vantage later, and we're still expecting more mid-engine series production cars too. Aston's overall range plan has altered a few times over the years, but cars like the Vantage and a DB model are a constant. But despite this Vantage being a sporting model, it is, according to Aston Martin Director of Vehicle Performance Simon Newton, a road car rather than a track car. We have tried it in both situations. The chassis is more torsionally rigid than ever. Aston makes no claims for global torsional rigidity, but points to places where it has enhanced local stiffnesses for his model. There are shear panels front and rear, the front longerons are better tied together, and the front top mounting point brace is both lighter and stiffer than in previous Astons, plus there's one across the boot at the rear too. The engine is a Mercedes-AMG 4.0-liter twin-turbo V8, mated to an 8-speed ZF automatic transmission with a 5% shorter final drive than the Vantage's predecessor. We like the ratios, says Newton, while it has electric power steering with unusually for a car on this architecture, no NVH-reducing coupling where the steering column attaches to the chassis to increase steering precision. It's rear drive via an electronically controlled limited slip differential with double wishbone suspension all around with coil springs and Bilstein adaptive dampers and bespoke Michelin Pilot Sport S5 tires, 275/35 R21 front and 325/30 R21 rear. There's a new interior with cues and hardware and software of a type that were originally introduced on the DB12 and that we were really impressed by. Aston believes in buttons and dials, and the little rollers that adjust temperature and fan speed and audio volume are truly lovely. There's a digital instrument panel that has pleasing graphics, but the gear indicator is too small. Aston is aware and says a fix is quickly on the way. Stitching and material and perceived quality is high too, save for a flexing door pull on our late pre-production model. It was said to be representative of production cars, but by the time customers start receiving cars, this may be sorted. The driving position is straight and low, and the seats provide a good blend of support and comfort. Vantages have had a high window line and relatively inboard seating for a while, which can make them feel wider and less wieldy than they are. I found myself raising the seat more than I might in, say, a Porsche 911, so I could see some bonnet. Pedals are broadly spaced, and the not entirely round wheel widely adjustable. There's so much power from the latest Vantage that you don't need to use much of its reserves on the road, but the further around the rev band you dare to get, the less lag there is. Not that, at road speeds, you'll want for response. The engine revs to 7,000 RPM and makes peak power at 6,000 RPM, but it's making its 590 lb-EFT peak by 2,000 RPM, and there's always enough to shove it out of corners with ease. It sounds terrific too, Without a back-to-back test,